Today we are talking to Ahmed Elhawary MBE. He is the chairman and co-founder of Mayfair Jets Group, bringing more than 3 decades of experience across the aviation industry. His aviation journey has been shaped by a deep understanding of both the commercial and operational sides of the industry, enabling him to lead complex projects, develop international partnerships, and navigate evolving market challenges. Under his leadership, Mayfair Jets has expanded its global footprint into charter brokerage, ACMI, flight support, aircraft leasing, and scheduled charter program. As chairman, Ahmed remains actively involved in shaping the strategic direction of the group by fostering a culture which is built on accountability, collaboration, and continuous improvement. Mr. Ahmed, it's a pleasure talking to you today. Mayfair Jets has expanded rapidly, across different regions and across different domains since 2020. According to you, what are the key milestones that have driven this growth, and how has your business model evolved to meet the challenging market demands?
Well, first of all, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And you're right. We started 2020 with the start of the pandemic of the COVID, and as we've discussed earlier, it was a learning curve for everyone in the industry, and we learned that to be sustainable in this industry, you really have to be able to adapt with the situation around you. When we started Mayfair Jets, the first milestone that we had was to actually be a charter broker.
Okay.
But at that time, with the curfew on travel, the only channel was cargo. So we learned the lesson that we have to adapt. So we shifted the business model from Mayfair Jets, where it's ear-catchy and trendy for private jet customers. We found ourselves doing cargo business. And actually, we did it in a very good way, where we've proven ourselves that regardless of the product that you offer to the market, it is actually the standardization that you have that proves that you have a quality in what you deliver.
And you can adapt to different situations, as you have
Absolutely.
rightly said. So what is the core focus now? Is it the charter business or is it charter cargo?
No, if I close it at those two options only, then we'd better not have 7 or 8 global companies part of our group. Actually, we do a scheduled charter operation like a regular airline.
Yeah.
We have operation from Germany, from Italy, from Spain, from most of Europe to leisure destinations like the Red Sea area or North Africa, Indonesia or Morocco, or even Palma de Mallorca. But also we cater for the cargo section or the cargo segment, where we are able to, through our network of partners in the market, regardless the geographical location, able to cater for the perfect aircraft for the requested demand, having that be valuable goods,
Yeah.
time-sensitive cargo that needs instant movement, or even at certain times human aids and the humanitarian relief flights.
What we've seen is you're offering a lot of services, from private aviation to charter to cargo to ACMI leasing, as you have rightly said now, humanitarian flights and flight support. How do you maintain, operational excellence while ensuring a consistent, the customer satisfaction across all these segments? So what is one key success, story behind this?
A short, boring answer: standardization.
Okay,
A
interesting.
long,
Yeah,
specific answer is
yeah.
actually the key of our success is our teamwork. We're very selective to the people that engage with us as team members or family members. We don't look for people with smart brains as much as we look for people with passionate hearts. Aviation is an industry. If you don't really work with your heart, you will not be rewarded in it. So
Absolutely.
we really invest in our team. We make very sure that they are the right team member for the right role. However, on the other side, we also take things in a very serious matter where I think in the segment of our business, we're one of the very few that have their own internal quality assurance department that
Okay.
is managed by qualified people in the segment of quality assurance, led by a lovely engineer that is a member with us since we started. And the most important factor that is the backbone of our business is our operations department. So they are, yes, knowledgeable, but yet very passionate.
Interesting. So, the key, if you look at it, just to summarize, what you shared over this is standardization, teamwork, quality assurance, and the operations.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's amazing. When we talk about leadership, especially in times like this, when there's so much of crisis, happening, and there is so much of uncertainty, we don't know what's happening the next moment. What qualities are more critical, for managing a global aviation business, amid this evolving market dynamics and, of course, the customer expectations?
Okay, so it's not a specific trait, it's actually being able to adapt with present situations or unpredicted situations. As you have mentioned, uncertainty nowadays, for example, is the big cloud over the sky of our industry.
Yes.
Having factors contributing into increasing costs, like, for example, fuel. So you have to be resourceful in finding the proper solution that would make you sustain your business, plus not losing the trust from the business partners that you have within the network. So the point is, for leadership, like, they have a strategic, or leaders usually they have a strategic vision for the industry that get crashed in the wall once facing the actual present factors on the ground. So what I say is, it is a regulated industry. However, it requires flexibility. You have to be flexible even with your own vision. You have to bend a little bit in your corporate demands and meet more the market demands.
What you've said is absolutely true, but with the expectations are also rising, and as well as the challenges. So when we talk about the positioning, of the Mayfair positioning, how do you position it, its cargo division, to capitalize on the growing demand, which is happening because of the e-commerce and with the current supply chain challenges, and also a lot of time the humanitarian logistics, which are the need of the hour?
Well, I'll speak generically first, then I will be
Sure.
specific about the cargo. As we've mentioned, COVID has been an experience for people in this industry, and they have never experienced such a drama in the business before. Like, if we look before that, in the Middle East region or even in Europe, like 2008, there was the Icelandic volcano, which has erupted, lots of operation at the time. And then came the Arab Spring in
Yeah.
2010. And for example, people were taking unstudied measures at the time. It was trial and error, a way of finding solutions. But came COVID, it really educated people. For example, there was travel curfew almost everywhere in the world. However, the demand for medical, pharmaceutical, and even personal protection equipment, the demand was increasing.
Yeah.
But people were at home.
Yes.
People were at home. They started actually using lots of unused time by going online, checking this, checking that. So e-commerce started booming like never before. So ended COVID, e-commerce has already positioned itself in the highest category of demanding cargo. So again, back to adaptability, we had to meet the market changes. We had to be ready for it. So cargo in Mayfair Jets is actually like, we're not an airline, yet we are in the market. We're an active player in the market. We pride ourselves with our relations with certain organizations and NGOs and even governments. It's the readiness that we have. We have so far 8 global locations for Mayfair Jets Group, where we are able, at least by region, if not by the country itself, we are able to suffice the demand of the client. However, having that said, we position ourselves with respect to all partners in the market. We position ourselves in a better place because with our accessibility to the market, especially through the contradicting geographical locations, we are ready on the clock to especially for time-sensitive shipments.
When we talk about, as we were discussing, aviation industry is one industry, where profitability, to make it profitable, is always a challenge. And we have seen globally a lot of, aviation companies who have been really big and, today they are liquidating or they're closing down.
True.
So talking about, Mayfair Jets, what do you feel is your strongest growth today, or which particular sector, of your business do you see a strongest growth?
Frankly speaking, I cannot frame our strength in one segment. Like MICE travel, for example, in tourism movement is a segment where we are very strong. We just concluded a big movement for one of the biggest online search engines. Allow me to keep it at that level. That has witnessed a huge move of thousands of its team members for a cycle meeting in the Far East. And we've done that with wide-body aircraft. Then when the present Gulf area crisis, or let me say the conflict started, we have been also on our toes, ready to support and supply for some repatriation or evacuation flights.
Interesting.
So I would not frame our area of strength in one segment. Like, for example, it's innovation and adaptation. We've learned through the past 10 years, if not more, that we have to be innovative. We have to position ourselves in a unique market position. We in-house, for example, generated our own and developed our own revenue management system for our online seat bookings for the scheduled flights out of Europe to the Middle East. We've created a very strong network with cargo airline partners in all the geographical regions where we are, whether this is the Far East, the Middle East, Europe, or even the USA. We've proven that we are a reliable partner to certain government during certain crises that we were able to deliver. We were flexible. Actually, funny, our slogan when we started was, by luck, flexible to your choice.
Okay,
now,
interesting.
it is really our belief. We have to be flexible to the client's choice.
To the client choice. Amazing. We are looking at it digitization and, AI and data driven. So how do you feel it has, really helped Mayfair Jets to improve the efficiency and, market capitalization for your organization?
25 years back, there was always a comment when there is an unhappy incident that happens in the aviation industry called human factor. Time by time, IT and technology have changed to actually mitigate, minimize, but nowadays it's almost eliminate. Especially, you will look at certain aircraft manufacturers, when it comes to human factor element, they try to eliminate it totally. We've also moved along with the market progress, I don't want to say market progress, I would say actually human civilization development. So yes, AI now, whether we like it or not, whether it's human or not, but it is a tool that has to be utilized. And we've actually looked into this few years back, and we've invested into this in a big way to be able to maximize and manage our revenue channels and revenue streams, whether that be in what seats capacity we need to increase on this route, or what seat capacity we need to minimize on another route, what space we need to offer for cargo on this particular route, or vice versa. So it's I would say AI or technology is not an option, it's a must.
It's a necessity.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, interesting. Now, looking ahead, where do you see Mayfair Jets, strategic vision? I will not say for next 10 years because that's a very long time. Let's talk about, next 2 to 3 years in terms of specifically the market expansion, signing up of more partnerships and digital innovation along with the global growth.
Over the last 6 years since our start, we've actually expanded our operation from being in Dubai to having a sister company in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in Germany, in Italy, in the Far East, in Indonesia, headquartered in Indonesia, then recently in the USA. I see that the next 2 to 3 years, for example, in the segment of cargo, we will focus more on the African side, because African and the subcontinent side, because those are two corridors that are very much connected through the GCC area. And we're going to be focusing on that part of the market, especially in the cargo segment. Having mentioned those areas, but also we look into tourism movement. It's have seen a big development in east coast of Africa, west coast of Africa, south coast of the subcontinent. So also we're trying to attract more movement into this, but hopefully end of 2027 we will be also connecting Europe to the Far East with scheduled charter flights.
That's interesting. And are you looking like, when you're talking about this tourism, expanding the tourism business, are you looking at also partnerships with the government in these countries? Or is it in an independent capacity?
It's actually mainly, it's always on an independent capacity. However, we do not take a step back from cooperating with local governments. On the contrary, we have very positive, successful experiences with local governments in the region, or in other areas of the globe. So we find some countries actually have the interest, have the will to invest in a certain location in their country, and they ask for help and they offer support in return. So we do actually find this very progressive, and we do have very successful business models that we've achieved before.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for talking to us today and sharing all your plans for Mayfair Jets.
My pleasure.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you very much. It's been an honor.